if you see something on your screen like that, just ignore it and carry on, guys. Okay, so I'm going to start the class now. If everyone can just be ready. And remember, if you cannot speak today, if you cannot speak, let us know in the chat box, please. Okay, so usual thing, type a message like this and tell me if you're not speaking. The microphone is here. So I have realized that I ask a lot of questions, maybe more sometimes than other teachers. So just be ready for that. There's different styles. My style is lots of questions. Okay, so please, guys, be ready and tell me if you cannot speak. Okay, so just Norzad. Let's do a test then. Uliana, can you say hello?
Yeah, hello.
There we go. Right, so guys, really quick, clicking the button. Usually buttons are off, and then when I ask the question, put them on. Thank you, Uliana. Very fast there. Hope you're well today. Having a good day?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So guys, let's start the class. I'm starting the class right now, and here we go. Okay, so this is OET listening. It's part A. We're going to talk about three things as usual, as I always kind of do. I try to focus on three things. The first thing today we will talk about will be the kind of format of the test. And I'm going to do this in a way that makes it hopefully interesting for you guys. The second thing we'll talk about today will be techniques. Sorry, let me just share my screen. First thing, format. Second, techniques. Third, practice test. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do in this class. Remember, it's listening part A. Okay, is everyone ready for a quick test? Is everyone ready for a format test?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak, and you guys need to write down what I say. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yes.
So listen and write down everything you hear. Let's do a quick example. Just a quick example. Ready? Just an easy one. 3, 2, 1, go. OET listening part A has 24 questions. It's a very difficult part in the exam, and you have to fill in the blanks. I'm just going to stop. Easy one. Rosalia, what did I say first there? I said three things. What did I say?
The OET part A, it has 24 questions and it's a difficult part.
Is that right, guys? What was the very first thing I said, everyone? Is she right? What was the
24 questions, yes.
Yes.
Are they 24?
Yeah.
Okay. New York, what was the second thing I said?
You said it is a difficult part of the exam.
I think I said it was difficult. And finally, Hussein, what did I say is the third thing?
Fill in the blanks.
It's fill.
Fill in.
Okay. So that's an easy one. That's an easy one, right? We're going to do it again, but there will be many, 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 many points I'm going to make. All right. So please write it down. I will ask you, random people, I will ask you, what did I say? Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so OET listening is a very tricky part of the exam, especially part A. And there are 20, you need to get 21 or 22 to get a good score. In terms of spelling, you're allowed to make some mistakes, but you cannot confuse the reader of your notes. So you cannot make big mistakes. Unlike reading part A, where you can make 0 mistakes. Now, there are 24 questions in this test, and there's 2 audio clips. There's 12 questions for each audio clip, and each audio clip is approximately 5 minutes. It can be slightly less, slightly more. You're looking at gap fill questions, and you can see examples here, guys, gap fill. And some answers are quite long. So in that situation, what we advise is to write notes. So for example, when you're filling in the gaps, if the answer is myocardial infarction, you need to sort of maybe write notes, or you could even write it in your own language. Come back later and fill in that gap. Don't waste a lot of time during the exam writing out very long answers. Remember, guys, you have 2 minutes in the paper test to write, to check your answers. At the end of part C, in the paper test, you've got 2 minutes. Go and check part A. Go and check your spellings. Go and maybe change your notes into the full form. So maybe first time you write MA, second time you write myocardial infarction at the end. On the computer test, there's 1 minute at the end, and it's at the end of part A. Okay, so on the computer test, you get 1 minute at the end of part A to check your spellings. So again, you could write notes and come back and change it later or check your spellings. Okay, that's it. A lot of things were said. I wonder how many we got. Obviously, you need to be writing this down. Yunus, what was the very first thing that I said there?
We must 21, 22 for a good score.
21 or 22 for a good score. Is this right, guys? Is that the first thing I
It's
said?
No,
Tricky
OET
part
for
of the
tricky.
OET.
Part A is very tricky.
Tricky.
I said tricky. Now, I said tricky, Yunus, because do you know how to spell that word? Tricky.
TRICK.
Why?
Why? What does it mean, Hussein? What does tricky mean?
Challengeable?
Challengeable?
Oh, difficult?
Difficult. Okay. So it can be tricky, can be difficult. There's 21 or 22 for a good score, I think, in my opinion. Mashid, what was point 3? Did you hear where I moved next?
So for the number 3, you said we can't make a big mistake for spelling.
Yeah, I started to
We
talk
can't
about
confuse
spelling.
the
Yeah.
yeah, we can confuse the reader.
So spelling I spoke about, and I said cannot make big mistakes. Can we make some mistakes?
Yeah, we can some mistake, but we
Yes,
can't
if
confuse
it
the
does not confuse the
Cannot
reader.
confuse reader. Okay, just Mashid, please. Okay, guys, when one person is talking, please don't talk over them. All right. Mariana,
plural is important here too.
go on.
The plural is important in this part A. We can make a mistake in the plural.
Okay, so I didn't say that, but yeah, definitely, guys.
I know.
Plurals are important. Okay, plurals are important. We can talk about this later anyway. Let's talk about plurals later. Mariana, what was number 4?
You said 0 mistakes? Or
0 mistake. What did I say? What do you mean 0 mistakes?
I think
I did say 0 mistakes actually, yeah. But what for what?
yeah.
I said unlike. Don't tell her, guys. Just give her a chance. Any ideas? You didn't get it? Okay.
Online reading.
Reading.
Okay, guys. We're on Zoom, and I don't want you to shout out the answers unless I say that's okay. All right? So please, Fareed, don't speak unless I say. Please. We're on Zoom. It's going to get very messy quite quickly. I have to say this every time. Don't shout out answers. Christina, can you say hello, Christina?
Hello.
Where can we make 0 mistakes? In spelling, we can make some mistakes in listening part A, but where can we make 0 mistakes?
In reading part, we're not allowed.
Exactly, unlike reading part A. And that's what I said, guys. Unlike reading part A, you cannot make any spelling mistakes at all. At all. Okay. Gloria, what did I say for number 5? Did you get it? Hussein, Ismail, did you get number 5 after the reading part A? What did I say?
Yeah. Do we have 12 questions for each audio?
Yeah, then I went into the simple things. Well, I didn't say 12. What did I say?
There is 2 audios for each audio.
I said 24 questions next. Okay. What did I say after that, guys? 24 questions?
Each question, each
Audio.
audio
2
call.
audios, okay?
No,
If I
for
say
5 minutes.
guys, if I say guys, that means everyone, right? Elif, I said there's 24 questions. I said there's 2 audios. What did I say next? Guys, this is a listening test. What did I say next? Elif.
Okay.
If you don't know, you
Approximate. Yeah, 5 minutes.
Yes. What is 5 minutes?
Each audio Approximately 5 minutes, yeah.
That's exactly right. Guys, I wrote this down. That was the next point. Well done, Elif. Helen, what was point 8?
Sorry, it was gap fills.
Yes, so this is gap fill style. Okay. And if anyone is new today, I'm sure most of you, so almost everyone knows this, but gap fill means this, right? Fill in the blanks. That's the style of the question. Helen, what did I say next? Because that's too easy for you. What did I say?
You can make some notes. Think, yeah, writing notes.
Let me check. Gap fill.
Some of them longer you need to write, but you can write some notes. You mentioned about notes.
Thank you. Okay. So guys, sometimes these gap fill answers will be very long. You should not miss the next answer because you are still writing something. So you can write notes. All right. You can write notes. Bouquet, could you say hello? What example did I give of that, Bouquet? Sene, what example did I give of a very long answer?
Hello, Alan.
Good.
Myocardial infarction.
Thank you.
Myocardial infarction. Yeah.
Good listening. Myocardial infarction. Maybe you don't want to write that down during the test. Does that make sense, guys? You could just write maybe MA, or you could write it in your own language even, okay? So thank you. Christina, can you come back? Anastasia, can you come back?
Yes.
Okay, so then I talked about, what did I talk about number 10?
We have in the end 2 minutes if it's
Yeah.
paper exam.
So Christina, there's 2 minutes for paper. And Anastasia, what did I say about that?
You can check during those 2 minutes. You can check, or you can check and you can go back through the spelling and arrange it.
So you go back and check your spelling. I did say that. And I said, okay, everyone, what was the other thing I said?
At the end of part C.
Change your
notes.
Guys, change your notes, right? So maybe in the exam, Sene, maybe you write MA. You hear myocardial infarction, you write down MA because you know that. And then at the end of the test, you go back, you check, and you can change it. You've got 2 minutes in the paper exam to do that. It's enough time, okay? What did I mention next, though? Azza, you want to try this? Aishat, number 11. What did I say for number 11?
Yes, you mentioned that before we are completing part A, we will still have 2 minutes to review the answer.
That is
and come back after finishing by part C. And this, yes.
What did I say after that, though?
After that, you said in part in computerized. Before finishing part C, we will have 2 minutes. We have to come again to part A to review our answer. And with computerized test, we will have 1 minute only in part A.
Okay, very nice. And Aisha, when do we, in the paper exam, it is after part C. In the computer exam, Aisha, when do we get 1 minute to check?
At the end of the test.
After part, it's not at the end of the test. What did I say, guys? Everyone?
Part A.
After part A.
After part A.
After part A, we'll have.
So if you're
20
doing the
minutes.
computer test, after part A, you get 1 minute. And then, again, but go back, check spelling, guys. And again, you can change your notes as well if you want. If you can still type, right, Senna? You could type MA. You don't have, it's the same for computer, same thing. Okay, I think that's everything I said. Guys, this is listening part A, okay? It is tricky. I think it's tricky because you need to get a good score here. Why do you need to get a good score? Aykut, Elif, Farid. Why am I saying you've got to get 21 or 22? This is out of 24,
24.
right? So
And
why?
you can only make.
Yeah, I could. Why am I saying that? Why am I saying you must get 21 or 22?
Because you can only make one or two mistakes.
Because
It's easier than B.
Part B and part C are very difficult.
Anastasia, is B really that hard? B?
Part C, so hard.
Right. Guys, C, I have nightmares myself about part C. So I'm sure you guys also feel like it's very, very hard. That means make sure you score as high as you can in part A. It's really, really important that you're doing well. It's not so bad, this type of listening, okay? Spelling is important. You can make some errors, guys, but you cannot confuse the reader. So this is the point about plurals. Who said plurals? I'll put this here. Who said plurals to me?
It was me.
Mashid, tell us once again. Also, plurals are important. What does that mean?
Yeah, for example, we can make a mistake with just with one word. For example, instead of E, we use I, but we can't make a mistake about the plural, about the S or the singular form.
So headaches, guys. If the patient says headaches, right? She's reminding us, Mashid is reminding us that this S can change your grade if you don't get it. If you don't write it, you can lose. Okay. But you can, look, guys, I can write maybe headaches like that. I know it's the wrong spelling, but I don't think it would confuse the reader. Or maybe you could write an E here, or maybe AI, right? You can make some small
articles.
Say again.
Article.
I don't think so. I don't think that affects it. I don't think it's right, the or not. Okay. Unlike reading part A, where you have 0 spelling mistakes, guys, there's 24 questions. There's 2 audio clips. Each audio clip is 5 minutes long, approximately. Could be 4 minutes, could be 6 minutes. You're dealing with gap fill style. Some answers are quite long. It's okay to write notes. This is because you have 2 minutes at the end to go back and check things, change things. That's the paper test. You get 1 minute at the end of the computer test. Okay, does anyone have any doubts or questions about this test? Anyone want to say anything or make a comment even? Yeah, I could. Please, you're very welcome. Please go on.
Thank you. For example, for instance, what about writing wobbly with 1B instead of double B?
Say that again. If you want to get 1B instead of... Sorry, one more time, sir. Apologies.
When we are typing wobbly.
Spelling.
Yeah. What about using typing it with 1B instead of double B?
Or D, yeah. So
yeah.
So bedding versus bedding with D, yeah. I think it's all... Look, OET do not tell us exactly what the rules are, but they just say if it's possible to confuse someone with your spelling, then you will not get the grade. Okay? But small errors where the reader, okay, he knows what it is, you will get the grade. That is why, guys, if you remark listening, if you go for remark with listening, it's always possible it could change because not everyone agrees on spelling, right? Possible a spelling could be changed when you remark. Great question. Okay, this is the format of the test. This is basically what the test is like. How do we do the test? I'm much more interested in how we do it. Maybe Helen, can you summarize, please? What are we doing in the test techniques?
We have 30 seconds before the audio start. In that time, we read the question and not the question, but the notes till the 6th one and predict the gaps, what can come. Like
We read and predict gaps. Okay. I suppose we can do that. Is there anything else we can do? Lena, Mashid, what else can we do? We can maybe read and predict gaps.
So we can use sometimes from selector the words, use it in the bracket to predict the category and which one is the answer when they mention two options.
Okay, so guys, SET teaches, or I teach, the idea of selector words, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Yes, so we got predicting gaps. Guys, this would be types of words. There's something called selector words I will talk about. Is there anything else? Maureen, is there anything else we can do? Maureen, Shala, Zainab, Kadriya, Ikia, Yunus. What else do we talk about very often?
Signpost.
Signposts. Signposts. Who said that?
Anastasia.
So Anastasia, we're looking for signpost words. Okay. So guys, in the 30 seconds before the audio starts, here are 3 things that many students will try to do. They'll try to predict gaps. They'll try to look for signposts. And they'll also try to notice selector words. Okay, so what do I mean by these 3 things? Can I give you examples of these? You guys ready for some examples? Let me give you an example. Okay, example. Okay, what's this? Yunus, what do you see here? What is this? Juliana, what is this? Taybet, what do you see here?
Signpost.
What is this thing here, though? Is this the whole thing? Signpost?
Lots of gaps.
It's a paper question for the listening part A.
This is the question paper. Thank you, guys. This is the question paper. So, but I'm going to use this to demonstrate, show you things. Okay, so the patient today is Alan. That's me. Okay. If anyone wants to call me Paul, that would be wrong. It's Alan. Okay, so Alan. So patient Alan. Okay. Now, guys, I want you to listen. Everyone here, get your pen and piece of paper. I want you to listen for this one. This is answer number 1. Okay, answer 1. Is everyone ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Piece of paper. This is now a test. Actually, I'm going to give you 1 second. Let me just check. I don't like this color. I'm going to give you 3 things. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I want you guys to write down the 3 things that I say. Okay, so again, it's another listening test. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Hi, doctor. Thanks for seeing me. Yes, my name's Alan. So look, in terms of the onset of my condition, it was about 4 years ago. To be honest, there were some headaches at first, and it was quite upsetting for the reason that my wife was very worried. And she was quite worried because the duration of the headaches was quite long. It's normally 3 or 4 days. So I've been off work. I've not been working, and I've been unable to participate in family life. Okay, so Sene, what were the 3 things that I said? Riri, what were the 3 things that I said? Maureen.
You said headache.
Headaches.
Okay, so Maureen, you're saying headache here, yeah?
Headaches, yes.
Headache.
What was number 2?
It used to last only 2 to 3 weeks.
No, it was quite worried. What was number 3?
Duration long.
No, it was off work. Okay.
Yeah, off work.
What's wrong with my test, guys? Why is my test not very good? What's wrong with this? Mashi, Riri, why is this test this is not a good test, is it? Not a fair.
There is no.
The question said onset of condition. Or wife worried is not, I think, a condition. It's not about you.
Yeah, that you're getting close to the reason. Mashid as well. Why is this not a fair test?
Because we can't predict the answer. You said a lot of things, but it's not any sign we choose the options from
Exactly.
your answers.
Guys, I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 things. I said 6 things. So how do you know? How do you know which ones to write down? You don't. You don't know, right? But is OET like this? No. OET is like this, right? So we do know what we are listening for. Sorry about the noise. We do know what we are listening for. And we know what we're listening for because of categories, types. We read the notes and we predict the gaps. It's very, very useful. Otherwise, we don't know what is the answer. Is it wife? Is it 3 to 4 days? Is it not working? We don't know. So the gaps are helping us to kind of know, what am I listening for? What's the reason for listening? So Adasola, for example. Adasola, can you say hello?
Hi.
Hello, Adasola. So can you see this here? This is a real test now.
Yeah.
So if we look at, say, let me just choose an easy one. Some of these are not easy. Okay, look at number 6, Adasola.
Okay.
Probably present since. Okay, what am I listening for? What type of word am I listening for? What category?
It might be year or maybe
Could be a year. Does everyone agree that this is maybe a time or a year? Or
Date.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it is
about
a
the
time.
time.
Yeah.
maybe an event like birthday or something, wedding. So that's what we mean when we're talking about predicting categories. It's simple as that. Without doing that, we don't really know what we're listening for. So the categories give us a really good guide to what we are going to be listening for. OET always has the same categories, right? It's always a symptom. It's always, Najibullah, it's always a condition. What else?
Body part.
Just Najibullah, please. Kadria, come on.
Treatment. Treatment.
Guys. It seems like we have 10 Najibullahs in the class. Is that right? Wow, I never knew. I thought there was only one. Najibullah, go on. Symptom, condition.
Treatment like some condition, or you write, so sorry. Tests, some test descriptions.
Yeah, description of what else?
Test.
Test. Yeah, action. What else?
Yes,
Najibullah.
Equipment.
Equipment, very nice. Now, Kadriye, just Kadriye. Any more?
Yeah, body parts.
Body parts, jobs. What else?
Jobs, yes.
One more.
Action. Ah, yeah. Okay.
Action. I already had that one.
Mm-hmm.
Just Kadriye, guys. Just Kadriye. Okay, now I'll have Kenny. Kenny and Anastasia. Give me some more things we always hear.
Name of drug.
Drugs. Yes, absolutely. Diet as well. Diet. Just Kenny, please. Just Anastasia.
Hobby.
One more time.
Hobbies.
Yeah. And guys, look, it's always the same sort of thing. The most common, though, the most common thing that maybe you didn't already realize is description of. Okay. This is a special type of thing we can predict. Maybe not everyone realizes this unless you study OET. Christina, what is description of category?
How it looks like, describe.
We are to Christina,
What
sorry.
it's like. Okay, just Christina again. So what it's like. So there's lots of examples today, guys, actually, of this. Look at this. Describes heartbeat as. Whew, description of. Father died from disease following blank surgery. Elif, what's this one?
Description of surgery.
This is what I would call description of. Is it a noun or an adjective, guys?
Noun.
This would be some kind of noun description, like it's telling me the type of surgery, isn't it? The type of surgery. Whereas this one probably would be adjective, wouldn't it? Adjective here. So this is what we mean by predicting categories. Simply reading and guessing the type. Okay. What about signposts? Bouquet, can you tell me what is a signpost? Can you tell us, Bouquet? If I show you
Yeah,
the
signpost is the keyword in the same line with gap.
same line or before? So a signpost is on the same line. Is that what I've been saying for a long time? So that's my signpost for number one. Are you sure? What is it? Guys, is a signpost on the same line?
No, separate.
Different line.
No,
Be
not
separate.
line. Different line.
Okay,
Answer.
so
Hello.
it's
Where we
okay.
are.
It's okay. So guys, we're looking for things before the questions that tell me, where am I? So for example, number 4, tachycardia is not a signpost because they might say tachycardia after the answer comes. Helen, what's that word for what OET always do?
Paraphrasing?
Guys, they paraphrase this. They are not going to just say single instance of tachycardia, which I describe as, they're not going to say that. They're going to change it. So anything on the same line, we cannot trust as a signpost. A signpost is just telling me, where am I? Is it question 4 or is it question 3? Okay. Kadriye, where is my signpost here? Kenny.
Yeah, development of symptoms 2 years ago is
Exactly, guys. I would focus here as my signpost for question 4, right? So it's very simple. Just don't rely on words on the same line for signposts. A signpost is just words on different lines that help me to know where I am. Okay. And I talk about this in the videos. If you watch the videos on the website, you can see me talk more about this. What about selectors though? Yunus, is a selector word on the same line or a different line?
It could be on the same line, and it could be the beginning of this question or at the end of this question on that sentence.
Exactly, guys. They're usually on the same line. So what is a selector word? It's not a signpost, right?
Yes.
What is it? Just Yunus. Just Yunus, please.
It is for
let's take an example. Okay. Okay, so look at number 5, Yunus.
Number 5. Okay.
You said you know what this is. So where is the selector word in number 5?
Selector is, I guess, light exercise, relatively light exercise.
Maybe whilst as well. Whilst. Okay, so
yeah.
What does that tell me? What does it do? Uliana, what does it tell? It's not a signpost. This word might come after the answer. It's not helping me to know, okay, I'm here. The answer is coming soon. It's not helping me like that. Sene, what is it doing whilst light exercise? Yunus. Anyone?
Helps me when there are 2 possible answers.
I also choose the correct answer.
When 2
can choose.
Okay.
Possible.
So a very common, the OET usually do this 2 or 3 times in the test. What they will do is they'll give you more than one possible answer. Okay. What's the category? Zainab. Yunus, what's my category? Occurred whilst blank. What is
kind of exercise.
So it's going to be some kind of action. Does everyone agree? Maybe like sort of some sport of some kind, maybe exercise. Okay, maybe. Let's say an action, some kind of activity. Okay. Everyone, listen to me and tell me what is the answer. Tell me what's the answer. Ready? iron patient. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so doctor, thank you. I'm really not feeling very good, and my condition, it gets worse. It really gets a lot worse when I'm doing press-ups and also when I'm running. And both of these are relatively light exercises. What's the answer?
Running.
Running.
Is it? Or is it press-ups?
Both of them.
Press up, running.
Two possible answers.
I'm just doing it so it's very simple, right? I just gave 2 answers, of course, right? So you will never normally get 2 answers. I've never seen that. Only one can be true. So when we have this situation, what OET will do is they will give you clues, words telling you only one of these is true. Does that make sense, everyone? Listen again. Listen again. 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, doctor. I'm having a lot of problems, especially when I'm doing exercises. To be honest, I have a lot of problems when I'm doing press-ups and also running as well. But this is quite an intense exercise, running. I run like 10 miles. What's the answer?
Press up.
Press ups.
Why? Adesola, why is it press-ups and not running?
Because you describe running as a serious exercise.
Right? Running is not a light exercise. I said I ran 10 miles. Make sense? So this is happening a lot in OET. You're going to have to choose between 2 possible answers. Does that make sense, guys? Words on the same line that help us choose between 2 answers. Okay? Now, maybe I'm going a bit fast today, but a lot of people in this class know a lot of these things already. Does anyone have any kind of little questions about this? Does it make sense what we're saying here? I've tried to give examples. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, well, let's try and apply this then. 1, 2, 3. Let's try and apply this to a real test. And sorry, if you're watching on YouTube,